Hello everyone, welcome again to COMM4320A, Communication, Leadership, and Technology. My name is Dr. Reed, and in this short little video, I'm going to be giving you sort of a general overview of the course navigation in the Canvas Learning Management System. So to begin, everything up here in this blue area next to the St. Edward's University logo is all about you. You see your name here, and then you see Inbox, which I've already opened in another tab here. And you can view and search for any email related to any course. So if I wanted to pick on one of my other courses here, I could see those. And then I can filter based on just what's on my inbox versus my unread or my starred. It also saves my sent messages, which is really nice. Anything that I've archived or any submission comments that I might want to look for. Composing in here is very easily. You just select your course and then you start to type in a name of somebody that you might be able to find in there. Of course, I don't want to show you a real class because that would be a FERPA violation, although I suppose we could do our own class. Let's see. Here you can see that when I type in L, I get literally everybody in the group so that I could send a broad email to everybody. And then here are the individual members of the group. So therefore I can choose who I want to include. And then I give it a subject line. And what's really nice about this is that I can write one email to everyone and then send it as individual messages if I so choose to. I'm not sure how applicable that would be to you, but it's an option. Here's where I could simply add an attachment, and right here, instead of typing and adding attachments, I could actually go in and record media or upload some media, such as some sort of feedback to an assignment, or if you're doing a review of some sort, or you just don't like to type, you can do that as well. And then again, when you press send, it automatically goes to your sent folder. Now, one negative aspect about the Canvas management system is that this is a totally internal messaging system, which means this isn't going to go to your email. You can set up notifications, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second, that allows you to be notified when you get messages, but it will not go directly to your email setting. So keeping that in mind, here is our settings tab, which is where we'll make some of those decisions. Beginning right up here at the Home tab. Sorry, that was not what I meant to do. That takes me back home, just so you know. It takes me home so that I can see everything going on in each of my courses. And then here's notification tabs. And this is where I can go through and I can say, oh, due dates. I want a summary of my due dates every day or once a week, or I don't really need an email on that one. The check mark is ASAP, notify me right away. You can see that I have multiple email addresses associated with this account. I have one at Gmail, I have my standard St. Edward's one, and then I've also added my cell phone number and my Twitter account. Now, I'm not real sure why you would want reminders sent to Twitter, but there you go. I guess that's an option. But I do find that the cell phone number text messages are very helpful. So you can go through here, and in fact, at one point I'm going to ask you to do so. Go through here and decide, how do I want these reminders sent to me? Do I even want anything sent to that secondary email address or that cell phone number? I would choose whichever email you check the most often. The only one that I ask you to set to ASAP is the announcement one. It doesn't matter which one you send it to or if you send it to all of them, but I do want that one marked ASAP. Everything else you can choose at your own discretion, whether you would like a weekly or daily summary. The files section here, when I'm under my own personal name, shows me all of the files that I personally have uploaded to the system. Not the course files, not something that your professor uploaded or something that your peer uploaded, just the stuff that you've uploaded. And then finally we come to the settings place, and this is where you can do things like change how your full name appears here in the grading thing. I don't really like you to mess with that one, but certainly feel free to mess with this one. You know, if your name is Penelope and you don't want to go by Penelope, then feel free to choose your middle name there. And that just allows us to be a little bit more personable. The only place it'll show up as your full name will be under the grade book, which only you and I can see anyway. So, and then don't mess, please, with the sortable name. Then you can, after you've added some email addresses here, which I will ask you to add your Gmail address, you can choose what your default email address is. So you can say, hey, all those notifications that I just set up, please send it to my Gmail address. This you're probably going to leave alone. This one you're going to want to make sure is on Central Time unless you're doing some traveling during the course of this class, in which case you might need to change that. Then one of the things that I ask you to do is to go through and set up your registered services. Mostly I'm asking you to do your Google Drive, which will be your Gmail account, your Twitter, and your LinkedIn profiles. You're welcome to do the others if you prefer. All right, I didn't actually change anything, so I'm going to cancel that. Adding your contact methods, such as your cell phone or your Twitter account, can be done under Other Contacts. Your email or text. And then here you can add your email addresses. Now you notice I couldn't add the Twitter right there. That's because it's automatically done when you add the registered services here. We won't be using ePortfolios for this class, but it is a great place to start saving things that you might want to add to some sort of electronic portfolio for future job hunts. But again, it's not something we'll be utilizing in this class per se. And then Box, if you have not heard of it, is a new content management system that basically takes you to any file that you've already uploaded or plan to upload to Box. As an extra security measure, they make you drag this little cloud over here, but once you're logged in with Box, then you are fine and won't need to do that. Hey, now notice that I'm going back up here to the top where it says my name, and I'm following that cookie crumb, that breadcrumb. That's what these are called, little breadcrumbs. Here's Dr. Michelle Reed's settings. Here's Dr. Michelle Reed's files. And now I'm going to go back to home. And here is all of the information about all of the classes that I've been teaching. For me, there's some things I need to do, such as grade some assignments. You would find your upcoming assignments probably there as well. So these last little buttons across the top here just again show you a list of all your individual courses and allows you to go directly to one of those courses. Your grades section would show you grades for all of your courses. Your calendar, which is very nice, shows you all of the due dates for everything that's in your calendar again. So it could be your personal calendar that you've set up. It could be an old calendar if you really wanted to compare. It could be your current one, or you can check off all of them. And what's really nice about it is that you can click on and create an ICS file, which is just a calendar feed that you can turn around and import into your Google Calendar or your iCal or your Outlook so that you're not having to reference so many different calendars. You can see this by agenda, week, month, and even if you needed to set up appointment groups, which you could do, you could use the scheduler here to compare each other's calendars. All right, so that said, I'm going to go ahead and head off into our own class here. And this is what our class looks like. We are actually two combined sections right here, which is why I've modified the course name here a little bit. And this is the home page. This is where you'll find your welcome announcements, just some general course information, and where you'll find our Twitter feed. I am going to be asking you to do some tweets and some LinkedIn posts and our Twitter tweets as they come up, as long as they're using the proper hashtag here. We'll be able to see everybody's tweets as they pop up. And in the past, I haven't been able to check it out because I don't have more than one person. But in this past, the app has allowed you to respond directly, which is really nice here. And the next button you see is the syllabus button. Here is a downloadable document, which, if you look, actually provides you with an option to check off your assignments as you go. So unfortunately, the agenda button in Canvas does not allow you to do a check off, and I've had students that have requested one. So this one allows you to do little check offs and even type in the names of people that you've responded to in individual forums. That'll make more sense when you read the forum directions. All right. So in here, again, also according to that calendar, is a list of all of the assignments, and everything is due at 11:59 p.m. In fact, almost everything in this course is due at certain dates, Monday and Wednesday, or maybe another semester it's Tuesday and Friday. A lot of that kind of depends on which semester you're in, and you'll need to check the syllabus for that. The next button is your announcements. Now, it's kind of grayed out right here, and the reason why is because I haven't added any new announcements. Once I do, that button will on gray and you'll be able to see it. Next button is the peer information page. And this is where, during a part of the course prep process, I'm going to ask you to come in and provide all of this general information for us. But you'll be able to constantly come back and reference that. We have the course FAQs page. This is a website that I've put together in Google Sites. Unfortunately, it doesn't collapse. You have to have it laid out like this. But it has a series of course-related questions, such as, why on earth are we using Hootsuite? How do I find my blog URL? And these are bookmarked, and then you can find screenshots and answers to those various questions. I encourage you to utilize that frequently. The modules is sort of the meat of the course. This is where everything is lined up so that you can see what you need to do, when you need to do it, and where to go to get it done. So most of these things are linked. So if I click on this, it'll say read, let's go fishing, and it's going to take you to the assignment. And you're just going to read that, and you can follow through the rest of the read and watches by hitting next, or you can always use that breadcrumb I was telling you about and go back to the intro where you were and resume from there. The same thing is true for assignments. When you have an activity or an assignment, you'll follow to that assignment page. And let me go into student view real quick so you can see it the way So because this assignment actually doesn't ask you to submit anything, you'll notice it's 0 points. There is nothing to submit here. I'm simply going to go into the gradebook and check off whether you did it or not. Other assignments, though, are worth a variety of points. And I'm going to ask you to do things possibly like download some files that will help you do the assignment correctly. These are rubrics or checklists, or external pages to go get your assignments done. And then descriptions. Here I'm also referencing my own personal bio so that you can read it. And then up here at the top, you will have an assignment submit button. And you'll see that I'm requesting that you submit a website URL. Sometimes it will be a paper or an image or simply a text box. All right, the next button is, the next button is our team projects info. And this is a page that just completely outlines the project that we'll be working on all semester long. It starts with developing a wiki for project management type activities, and then moves on to creating a presentation and a project regarding a topic of your team's choice. Here I've bookmarked some of the extra areas, so if you need to go back and say, oh, what does task 8 remember? What is that again? Okay, 8, respond, each team member. I've also put a couple of extra links here for something called common mistakes, such as not using the grammar spell check feature in Microsoft Word, and a place for those rubrics so that you can download them and make sure that you have a 100% score before you even submit it. It's an opportunity for you to kind of grade yourself. All right, so most of the majority of the rest of these underneath the team project info are simply shortcuts. So here's a shortcut of assignments. You saw me briefly go to that a second ago, where you can see all the assignments. This prevents you from having to go back through the modules button and hunt them down by module. Same thing for discussions. In fact, I'm going to go back into my View It as Student. Student View is a very nice little feature in Canvas. Unfortunately, some things, because I'm a test students can't see, such as grades and a couple of other things. So here is that assignments button again. Again, just a list of all of the different assignments. Here's my discussions. And to participate, I'll just simply click on one of those, download those guidelines and PDFs, and then I'll just simply reply. And what's nice about it is that these are what we call threaded discussions, so that when somebody replies here, there'll be an opportunity for you to reply to the initial post, which you should do, but then also reply to each one of those posts. So that's nice. And then this is actually a page that takes you to an external page, to Blogger, which we'll be using a real life tool to do our blogs, journals. We are going to be doing online journals in Penzu. What's nice about Penzu is you can open it up for anybody to see, but in our case, we're going to keep it private just between you and me. Twitter, which is just simply a shortcut to Twitter. LinkedIn, same thing. It's just a shortcut to LinkedIn, as is Facebook. Then we have our conferences, which as a test student, I can't see, so I'm going to go ahead and get out of that. And this is because I haven't actually set up any conferences yet. So one of the first conferences I'm going to set up is going to say M Reads Office Hours. There'll be a link here, and then you'll be able to come in on Tuesdays from 5:30 to 6:30, if that's what I have scheduled in the syllabus, to meet with me for office hours. And then we have collaborations. Now, one of the things that we're going to be doing for the team project is to create a Google Doc and collaborate within that. And you can start that off here underneath collaborations if you want, or maybe you and your team personally need to create some other documents. So you can do that right here, but you can also do it straight at Google Docs. So it doesn't matter to me which way you do it. Okay. And then we have a chat window that if anybody else is logged into the system at the same time, then you'll be able to see them listed here. Right now, I'm all by my lonesome. Here's another shortcut to Box, your own personal box. Here are the other people in the course, which is really nice. Right now, I can see that I've been in. You won't be able to track any of the last activity or total activity. That's only a teacher view section. But you will be able to see names, and as groups develop, groups will begin to appear over in this area as well. Your grades is very complicated apparently. When I went to grades, I saw it as a teacher. Let me show you, well, I can't show you how it looks as a student because test student doesn't have any grades. So basically, I can kind of just describe it for you, I guess. Okay, actually, that's not too bad. Usually I get that message. So here it shows, here are all the assignments. Then you'll see what your score was here. And then over in this area, if I've added any comments to that assignment, then you'll see a little comment bubble here. And when you click on it, it will show you the comment, which is really quite nice. Then you have an access to the library, which opens up in the new tab, and access to academic support, which also opens up in a new tab. So hopefully that helps you get a general idea for the navigation and sort of the feel of the course. Again, most modules start off with something to read, watch, and do, followed by some activities and assignments based on what you have watched and read. So aside from doing this section before this section, it doesn't really matter which order you go in. The only thing that I would ask you otherwise is that do not do these tool evals prematurely. Please do not do those until you've had the opportunity to actually use the tool evals. And again, that'll make more sense when you read those directions for the assignment. All right, well, thank you very much.